Hello. Let's talk about Chapter 8 homework. For question 1, we have to record journal entries for 3 business transactions. The first transaction is a purchase of merchandise on account, the second transaction is a purchase of merchandise for cash, and the third transaction is the payment for the merchandise previously purchased on credit. Let's complete the first journal entry together. On June 4th, Lewis Corporation purchased merchandise on account from Salinas Company, with invoice 100 for $1,095, with payment terms of net 30 days. That means that our purchases are increasing and our accounts payable are increasing as well because Lewis Corporation purchased the merchandise on account. We record the transaction by writing purchases into the description column and $1,095 into the debit column. On the next line, we slightly indent and write accounts payable Salinas Company into the description column and $1,095 into the credit column. What do you have to do next? The second transaction is like the first one except the purchase is for cash rather than on account. Give it a try. The last transaction is for the payment of the previously purchased merchandise on account. Cash decreases and accounts payable decrease as well. Question 2 has 5 business transactions. The first transaction is a merchandise purchase for cash and the second is a merchandise return for cash. The third is a purchase of merchandise on credit, with some merchandise returned and a credit memo issued as part of the fourth transaction. The fifth transaction is the payment for the invoice, net of the credit memo, previously purchased on credit. We'll complete the third business transaction together. First, though, we'll read it. Purchased merchandise on credit from Bright Distributors with invoice 125 for $659, terms net 30, freight of $34. Prepaid by Bright Distributors and added to the invoice. We record the transaction by writing purchases into the description column and $659 into the debit column. On line 2, we write freight into the description column and $34 into the debit column. On the next line, we slightly indent and write accounts payable Bright into the description column and $693 into the credit column. This is question 3 and we have to calculate the net delivered cost of purchases for Kissling Incorporated. We are given purchases, freight in, purchases returns and allowances, and purchases discounts. You now need to determine what amounts are added and which ones are subtracted to calculate the net cost. Page 244 of your textbook shows you how to complete this calculation. For question 4, we are evaluating the business transactions for Big Country Ski Shop, which is a retail store that sells ski equipment and clothing. Big Country Ski Shop commenced business on September 1, 2021. The firm purchases merchandise on open account. The firm's purchases, purchase returns and allowances, and cash payments on account during September 2021 are listed below. We have 10 business transactions that need to be recorded and posted to the general ledger. We don't actually have to record the journal entry, but I would suggest that you jot down the journal entry first before posting it into the general ledger. So let's complete several transactions together. On September 2nd, Big Country Ski Shop purchased ski boots for $5,800 plus a freight charge of $230 from Colorado Ski Shop, invoice $6,672, terms net 30 days. What is our journal entry? We debit purchases for $5,800 and debit freight for $230 and credit accounts payable for $6,030. We post this first transaction by looking for the purchase account and writing September 2nd into the date column and $5,800 into the debit column and the balance column. We next post the freight in of $230 and also extend the balance. Last, we record the accounts payable portion of our transaction by posting the credit to the accounts payable account. However, we also have to record the accounts payable into the subledger. To also post this transaction to the accounts payable subledger, we find the Colorado Ski Shop subledger account and write the date and the amount of $6,030 into the credit column and the balance column. Let's now look at the next transaction. For the second transaction, the company purchased skis on September 3rd for $11,400 from Alaska Supply Company, with invoice $5,916. And terms of 2% 10 days or net 30 days. This transaction would be recorded in a journal by debiting purchases for $11,400 and crediting accounts payable Alaska Supply Company for $11,400. Let's post this transaction now. We post this first transaction by writing September 3rd into the date column and $11,400 into the debit column and $17,200 into the balance column. We record the accounts payable portion of our transaction by posting the credit to the accounts payable account for $11,400 and writing $17,430 into the balance column. Next, we also have to record the accounts payable into the subledger. To also post this transaction to the accounts payable subledger, we find the Alaska Supply Company subledger account and write the date and the amount of $11,400 into the credit column and the balance column. For the third transaction, we need to record a credit memo. The company received credit memorandum 165 for $920 from Colorado Ski Shop for return of damaged ski boots. The boots were originally purchased September 2nd on invoice 6,672. This transaction would be recorded in a journal by debiting accounts payable Colorado Ski Company for $920 and crediting the purchase returns and allowances account by $920. Let's post this transaction now. We'll first post the debit into accounts payable for $920 and a balance of $16,510, and then write the credit and balance of $920 into purchases returns and allowances account. To post the transaction to the subledger, we'll write the date of September 7th into the date column of the Colorado Ski subsidiary account and $920 into the debit column and calculate the new balance of $5,110. Once all transactions are posted, complete the accounts payable listing for the third part of this problem by filling the ending balances of each subledger account into this schedule. That is it for today. I hope this overview was helpful. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions.